Welcome to this episode of Fargonauts. We got our Broichi boys here.
We are Broichies. Bum 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 bum.
Today we're continuing our Twin Peaks watch through, and this episode is actually called "What Story Is That, Charlie?"
Wait,
Charlie bit my finger again?
And then what was the one before this? That's Let's Rock, I think it was. I think Diane gets sort of into what did happen? I think Albert and Gordon bring Tammy in and like talk about the Blue Rose cases and things like that. Ben and Frank had a back and forth about should I give this key to Harry?
I think he'd really like it.
And they just said,
Oh, yeah.
I thought he might
Yeah.
like to have this.
Yeah.
You know, I think he might really
Like
like
to
to
have
have
it?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Lots
think
of
you'd like to have
passes.
it?
Yeah.
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 um,
Yeah.
there's that scene, and then a lot of back and forth yas. And then
Yeah.
we had like a really crazy scene with Gordon and his lady at his apartment or his hotel room.
Ray Chic.
Trey Chic, and she just would not leave the freaking room while
Well,
Albert
I-
just sat
She's
there.
just there to make you like to. It seems to just build up the tension because you're just like sitting there like fucking hurry up, dude. Like
Yeah.
she's taking her dear old time, and you're like hurry up. He needs to tell you something,
Mm-hmm.
and then once he does, you're like, oh, this isn't that important.
How do you
remember correctly.
How do you guys feel about my read that they met at like the hotel bar here? Like this is not somebody that Gordon Cole has known for
Oh,
years
yeah,
and
no,
years.
no.
He like just met this chick.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Albert. Just like,
Yo,
"Jeez."
the hand on the back of the neck, just like
Ooh.
really don't want to make this
Picked it up
awkward.
that fucking tight ass Gordon Cole Riz, dude.
Well, I mean, shit. We said before, like, yeah, why doesn't Albert say something about like, okay, actually leave? But Gordon Cole is the fucking director of the FBI, not deputy director, not anything else. He's the man.
Mhm.
You can't.
With the plan, dude.
Yeah, you gotta let him have his. Oh, what he said, Trey Chic, and what else did
Have
he say?
Italians.
Something.
A nice Bordeaux.
A night. I would really like to get back to finishing my conversation and a nice Bordeaux.
Yeah.
She didn't get it either.
Yeah.
He made some kind of joke. After this kind of happened, these I forgot the name of these two, but it's Tim Roth and Jennifer Jason Leigh.
It's not
And
Tammy. But yeah.
they snipe out the warden of the prison, and yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
From South Dakota. They drive off, and then we got Dr. Amp. And then he does his same spiel, talking about the golden shovel and digging yourself out of the shit.
Which is clearly symbolic, right?
Yeah.
Like he's taken his not only his former profession of being a therapist and like is using some of that to be able to like use keywords and terminology to help like drive sales maybe or something, but like instead of having people come to him and have one-on-one conversations with them, he's just broadcasting out there and just being like
Right.
and it's just really intriguing to me that like we've seen Nadine like engaging with this
Right.
and positively from her reactions to it, but we haven't necessarily seen like a ton of other people reacting or interacting with this at all. I am curious to see how it will play out because it's rare that like something in this show is happening for no reason whatsoever, at least in the return.
Mm-hmm.
It may seem very like esoteric and like what the fuck is happening, but it's always got a little something to say.
Yeah. I liked seeing it. I mean, I like having him show up and talking about stuff
Mhm.
and where he's at in his life. Like with Audrey, it's good to catch up, but for the most part, this situation was very awkward. So
Yes.
we have Audrey Horn talking to her husband Charlie, and he's got a lot of work to do. This poor guy's got so much work to do.
Yeah, so much work, Audrey. It's late, and I'm tired already.
I don't want to go to the roadhouse.
He's so put upon. Like,
Audrey wants to go to the roadhouse to go look for somebody, I think, and
Billy?
yeah, Billy.
Yep.
We don't know the full story.
That's better.
But yeah, Charlie does not want to go.
We never know.
And Audrey just gets
Well,
on him. Poor dude.
It's a slight bit off topic here, but there is like those two chicks. Well, there's multiple pairs of chicks that sit at the roadhouse and talk about random shit, but one of the pairs of chicks that sit at the roadhouse talk about Billy, and like Audrey says some shit here about like, Billy ran into this backyard and met with like Tammy and her mom, and his nose was bleeding, or like she lays out a series of events, and then these two chicks later are kind of talking about something where like I think a couple of names get brought up, but the context or the series of events sounds slightly different from their telling, so it's like, is it not? Yeah, it's
Right.
convoluted as hell.
And it doesn't help where Charlie talks on the phone.
Did his finger?
Well, no. But he gets a phone call, and there's
Look at
a
him,
lot of
look
back
at him
and
gnawing
forth.
on it right there.
So Audrey's intently like listening the whole time he's on the phone about the situation that they've been talking about, and then after he gets off the phone, all he does is stare at Audrey. He just like he's finished talking and just gives her like a little, I'm trying to find it. Where is it?
You're dancing right around it here.
There.
Right around you.
Just a dead stare. Like, I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't know why he's withholding of all this information, but he doesn't want to be put upon anymore.
Just because he knows he's like taking this small opportunity to drive the knife in a little bit. Clearly, neither of them is like happy in their relationship anymore, or if they ever were in the first place. So it's like he is not necessarily doing things to be outright like vindictive against her, but he knows that she's amped up about this, so he's taking the opportunity to just be like, no.
Such a petty thing, though. It's like so
Yeah,
petty. It's like, just tell
absolutely.
me what's going on. We're going to the roadhouse. Get your
I don't
coat.
want to go to the roadhouse, Audrey. I don't like it when girls crawl around on the floor and scream.
Then we get Diane.
Why not?
I think she checks her phone and the coordinates of Twin Peaks. So she finds the thing on the person's arm were coordinates to Twin Peaks. And then we flash over to Twin Peaks. And we go to the roadhouse, I think. And then
When Bex.
I like the Chode House, dude.
we have these girls talking. Remember? They were talking about the
Do you
situation.
have to be so crass?
Yeah. I'm a real crasshole, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We get
it's these two
offshoot
chicks.
Reese Darby here. Great
Yeah,
value
right.
brand.
These are the
Yep.
two that are talking about Billy or some shit related to it.
And this guy comes in, he's like, I need a beer, so he leaves. that's all he did.
I'm all worked up about something. I need a beer.
Fuck, I need a beer. And then he just like,
beer.
and then he leaves and gets a beer. And that's pretty much it for Let's Rock. I'm interested to get into what story is that, Charlie, because I think this one, I've skimmed through it because I had to. We're going to see some Doppelkoop, so prepare for some Doppelkoop and Koopelgangers.
They call me Mr. C.
So, Candy, Mandy, and Sandy, I don't know, Sandy or Mandy are looking right at the camera.
The dandy ladies.
Okay.
That push no face.
I'm recording. Well, there's that episode. That was called What's the Story, Charlie? And we got
Sure, Charles.
we still
What
didn't
story is that,
understand.
Charlie?
Yeah, what story is that, Charlie?
Charlie.
Oh, the episode opens up on the gunslinger guy, and then a crazy musical cacophony of this entrance where the kissy-faced Mitchum brothers and Dougie show up to give Mr. Bushnell a bunch of gifts because of the awesome deal they made where, according to Jim, got 30 million bucks, or what was it? I think it was like 30 million.
Yeah, stuff like that.
He had a great O face when he got that. So they have a party, and the whole time, I forgot his name, but yeah, Sizemore is here talking to this guy we know as Todd, Mr. Todd, and delivering the news that he has no idea how the hell Dougie survived the Mitchum brothers after, giving away to them and saying to the Mitchum brothers that, Dougie's just got it in for you guys. Like, he just doesn't like you or something. So his plan is foiled, and now he's talking to Mr. Todd about the situation, because they're obviously having fun, and he's pissed.
I was having a little fascinated moment of reading that form, the slip and fall form that was on his computer there.
Yeah, I tried to look at that when we were watching too. It was just some kind of more BS that he's probably making.
Have you ever walked on this floor before? Yes. How often do you walk on this floor? Monthly.
Monthly. Then we get some Janie E getting some awesome gifts from the Mitchum brothers. Not the car.
Getting all... yeah. Getting all,
Getting all these nuts.
hot and bothered or excited that Dougie is the impetus of this, and just be like, oh, Dougie.
Yep, she had those moments throughout this episode, which is kind of cute. And then they get to watch Sonny Jim just play like a hamster on a wheel.
So the only thing that I can think of is that Janie E is the person who strung the lights up, put the arch up, set up the spotlight, all these extra things other than what we have seen.
It was the boys that delivered everything, dude. It's 100% them.
But we don't know that for sure. We only saw them with hands on the jungle gym equipment. So
I trust Bracho.
It just it's more entertaining to me, I guess, in my mind, that Janie all these, just for when Dougie got home, she could be like, "Look at him! Look at our boy!
He's in seventh heaven. Look at this.
Sonny Jim is in seventh heaven."
And he's like, seventh heaven.
He's gonna bounce a fucking header right into the fountain and crack his skull open.
Good old Johnny Sim, dude.
And we finally get to see some Doppelkoop showing up on this huge TV screen. these
gigantic.
These guys have on a wall in this warehouse.
I like this frame.
Great.
Got Baldy, butt chin, and
we've got
hot dog.
We've got hair. We've got.
So Doppelkoop shows up at this warehouse where all these dudes are showing up, and we got what we dub as numbers hanging out here in the middle.
Yep. Little Colin Hanks-esque.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
I think he's just droopy as a human.
Oh.
I've never been so happy.
Do you need money?
Do you need any money?
Look at this dude on the far left, like the Bradshaw-esque dude with the shotgun.
The fucking the Gunslinger Bradshaw there.
There's Gunslinger Bradshaw, there's fucking Greasy Bradshaw, there's fucking in need of a hamburger Bradshaw, there's a couple different Bradshaws.
So Mr. C and the gang decide to have a nice arm wrestle fight, and so I guess in this gang, if you win arm wrestling, you're the boss, and you get to do whatever. It's kind of a weird hierarchy.
That's what I do.
Everybody that has ever come onto this crew has always gotten one opportunity to challenge the big guy here, Stasnov, some shit like that, to arm wrestling. None of them have ever beaten him. He's always beaten everybody else, so he's basically the boss, just being like,
I can put your arm on
the precedent was set early, and then it just continued on. And now Mr. C gets his shot, but he's got super strength, so doesn't matter.
Exactly. So
Done.
what's happening is that the whole time he's just playing with his food, and then towards the end, he pretty much just snaps this guy's wrist and then pops him in the face.
Yeah.
Who needs a wrist?
And we got another great shot of numbers here. Looking at the aftermath.
Boy.
He's like, "Wow, you're the boss now."
Look at the dude in the cowboy hat. Like he showed up for Walking Dead audition for sure.
Yep.
But I think a number of these fellows did.
Like, this is Walking Dead, guys. Well, that guy's dead.
But
Let's wait to
it's
see
a
if he wakes
very
up.
like elucidating scene because there's a lot of stuff that gets dropped by Ray and Mr. C in their discussion, but everything leading up to it is just like this wonderful, not time wasting, but I'm gonna say time wasting meander through a wonderful little scene directed by David Lynch where it's like who are these kooky people? What are they doing here? What's going on?
I got this George Carlin looking gangster over here and a broad show again.
But yeah, I would say the meat and potatoes, like the real reason we're here, is to have this discussion between. Look at his shoulders. Look like one shoulder is like 2 inches below the other.
I love how he's postured.
He's got to go to a chiropractor.
He's got it. He's got everything. He's got the whole package. Look at this guy. The rims. Oh my god.
Complete sports package.
Wilson, you could pull off this look, I think. I think you could do it. You could pull that off.
I've gotten very close to that look before, yes.
So after that, we got some really interesting dialogue with what's this guy's name again?
Ray.
Ray, yes. Ray talks about being on the phone or in talks with Philip Jeffries, and Philip Jeffries. Can you explain it a little bit, Wilson?
Well, that's like this conversation is like Mr. C kind of taking vengeance for what Ray did to him when he busted him out, and under the orders of Philip Jeffries, like led him to this one specific spot and was supposed to kill him and put this ring on his finger. And we saw how things kind of went sideways there. But this is Mr. C grilling him, being like, "What the fuck was that about? Who are you working for?" We found out he was working for Philip Jeffries and that they've been in contact via phone calls. And yeah, Ray basically is like, he told me to put this ring on you, and it's the like jade ring, which is the one that Laura wore, the one that Mike wore, the one that like features heavily in the secret history and etc.
Fire Walk With Me, and Chet Desmond grabs from the trailer park and disappears with it.
Like super important
Artifact.
piece of artifact in this show. And Ray has it somehow, like somebody gave it to him. Supposedly Philip Jeffries, if that's who he's working for, and is the person supplying him with like information, orders, etc. Probably somehow gave him this ring and was like, "Do this thing with it." But he, Mr. C makes Ray put this on, and then once he finds out, he's like, "Where's Philip Jeffries? I don't know where he is. Where's Philip Jeffries? He's at the Dutchman's." And then Mr. C kills him, says, "I know what that is." And because Ray died while wearing the ring. I'm just going to lay it out matter-of-factly. Ray dies while wearing the ring. The ring disappears from Ray's hand and ends up in the the red room, the waiting room. And then shortly thereafter is followed by Ray's body.
Yeah.
Mike grabs the ring, puts it back on the marble table, which is like where we've seen him place it before. Yeah, and I think Broadshow, you said like goes back to the place where it like started or came from or something, because we've seen him put it on that table before, so maybe that's just like the place where it rests in between its sojourns out into the fucking physical world to bring people into the waiting room who can't like physically make it to a portal like the Glastonbury Grove or something. I don't know. I have no idea, but
I love the meaning behind it. Like putting it on and you die, your body goes to the waiting room. Like that part of the lore now fits. Mm-hmm. Like there's something interesting about that.
Yeah, and who's to say that, wearing it may not somehow affect that or have some correlation or like relationship of its own. Yeah, the ring itself is definitely like super important, and we don't know what it does, but that's like roughly what we see happening here. So it's just up to inference of what you want to decide is going on.
Mm-hmm. Then we got a quick scene of these, I guess, brothers talking on the phone with their mom, and then something crazy is happening in the background. Like somebody's like, "Taser, taser, taser!"
Fucking taser! People are screaming, and
Yeah, there's something weird happening in the background.
Champ is just he takes a moment and just like watches.
Yep. Then he brings over this piece of paper that says something about how Dougie is a FBI agent, and he's like, "This is bullshit," so he just trashes it.
He says that whatever the piece of paper is like a hit on a background check or some shit, where he's like, dig this. Like 2 days ago, Dougie Jones apparently broke out of a federal penitentiary in South Dakota, and he's a missing FBI agent. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
yeah,
it's
right.
tied
That's
together.
right.
It's the fingerprints. The fingerprints on
Mhm.
Dougie Jones came back.
Right.
Mhm. Mr. Fingerprints.
Mr. Fingerprint.
Mr. Jackfinger.
And we got this blurry Harvey Keitel looking guy.
Jarvie.
So
Scurvy.
is his name Steven? No, it's not Steven, is it? I forget. But we got Sizemore here talking to this detective that they're in cahoots with Mr. Todd in this situation, and how he has to now pay up this detective. How much money again? 5,000 or 15,000, something like that.
5,000. Yeah.
5,000.
5,000.
To figure this crap out. It looks like all the detectives are just smoking, and then
To get him a poison. Yeah. To
yeah,
kill Douglas.
and that was just a quick scene with Tim Roth and Jennifer Jason Leigh about
Talking
Mormons.
about Utah and Mormons.
Yeah.
I don't, and clearly they are mid conversation, because the way that she brings it up, she says something about like, it's as if he has just posed something to her, being like, what do you think is the best place to live when you retire, or what do you think is the best place for us to go on a killing spree, or what do you think, like, she is clearly carrying on a conversation where this is not just like they've been silent for 2 hours, and out of the fucking blue she says Utah Mormons, like,
Yep.
so
They don't like Coke, they don't like coffee, but they have a lot of wives.
yeah. It's the figuring out what the context is almost as interesting as what the content of the conversation is.
And we
It's
got
not that they don't like, Tyler. It's that they can't have.
oh, all right.
Not don't like. Can't have.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't like that.
Then we get Dougie No Doors, because we find out that
Dougie no doors.
Dougie does
He
not
does
like
not
shut.
open or close doors for anybody, dude.
No.
He's Dougie. He gets out and he goes in, and other people open doors for him and shut doors for him.
It would be fun to like actually rewatch this, The Return. Oh, Blurhand, Sizemore Blurhand. Rewatch The Return and see whether that is actually true or not. Whether or not Dougie Jones, like the true Dougie Jones, ever actually opens a door for himself or not. Because I bet he doesn't.
He doesn't. He doesn't seem to understand doors, dude.
Oh, Sizemore Blurhand. There it is again.
Sizemore Blurhand.
That's not Blurhand.
And then we get the scene where Sizemore gets the poison that he's going to put in the coffee. But Dougie just finds the pies and goes
He hears
over
like
to
a
him.
coffee maker going off, and he just wanders over to the noise and finds pies.
Yeah, this pie like display is just. He's like that cartoon where he smells a pie and he like drifts his whole body over there.
It like goes into his nose and drags him over, and he like floats there.
It's like a little finger smoke scent, like it's like beckoning him and like grabbing him by the nose, like, "Come here, Dougie, you'll love this pie." And then he comes back after Sizemore puts the poison in Dougie's cup, and he notices that he's got some like dandruff or something, or maybe his shoulder's a little wonky. He
It's
just
the
looks at it.
dandruff. It's
But he's
something.
like
Something on his
he's
collar.
stressed. Like maybe the dandruff is from his stress, and Dougie's trying to like calm him down. There's something instinctual happening here with Dougie, where he's like, I need to like calm this person's nerves.
I think it's just like he's jangling. Like he just sees he's wearing a dark suit, and there's something that's standing out against it. So Dougie is literally just being like, "Oh, what is this?" And then just touching it and being like, trying to figure out what it is. And Sizemore is completely just reading into it. Yeah. Oh, about to sneeze.
Yep, and then we get a great scene here where Sizemore pours the coffee in the toilet.
And Samson.
And then Malone over here.
Yeah, Malone. That's what it was.
Malone's like, that bad, huh?
That bad, huh?
And then Dougie's just chilling, eating the pie, and then Sizemore comes in. He's like, I'm so sorry, Dougie. And he's like, huh? There's some good like little character beats with Dougie in this episode that I appreciate, because we get the antagonist with Doppelkoop, Mr. C, and Dougie, just being the best kind of Dougie, and then Mr. C just being the most evil version of Mr. C. Then we go back to Twin Peaks for a little bit, and we get some conversations with Shelley and her daughter. And then right back to Sizemore just blurting out everything that has been going on behind the scenes at the Bushnell Company, and how he's sold out Bushnell to Mr. Todd or whatever was going on. But we know Bushnell just knows, because he can read Dougie's chicken scratch of ladders and stairs and circles and scribbles. He understands it. And that was kind of a funny scene, because we had Dougie the whole time just sitting there, kind of echoing apologize to Dougie, or like saying telling him to apologize. He's like, I will Dougie, I will do that.
Apologize.
And then so yeah, he's just ever attentive, I guess, in this situation, just being a pillar of the conversation. I don't know if he was the arbitrator of this, but he was like, I said when we were watching it that Dougie was kind of bringing the two together, because Bushnell like knew about this situation because of Dougie's reporting on it, and so Bushnell had it in his mind that he's just pissed off at Tom Sizemore, that he was just gonna like haul off and smack him or do something horrible. But the fact that Dougie brought them together and he like kind of spilled his guts, it kind of softened the blow a little bit for Bushnell, and he kind of, he's kind of letting it pass a little bit, is what I'm feeling. So him just being there and, helping them come to terms with this situation is helping everybody's kind of cooperation and their dynamics, without like resolving everything with like violence or whatever else, which is good to see. Are you still with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you go, letting you have your moment. I agree that I think one of the things I appreciate most at this point in the show, where we're like freaking 2 3/4 of the seasons into the show, it's so nice to have scenes of just like legacy characters just being. Not even like, we don't have to cover any exposition, we don't have to really do anything important. Just let them be pleasant, let them be who they are with each other. It's nice to see.
Yeah, I agree. I like seeing that, because I love this situation where you see Bobby Briggs and Big Ed and Norma hanging out at the Double R, and then later on you get to see
Norma.
Jacoby and Nadine talk, and like they never really had interactions in the original series, so like it's fun to see these legacy characters just like, oh hey, I remember seeing you in the supermarket about 7 years ago, and just catching up. And they have, it's a small town, and you gotta think that everybody knows each other in this place, but we never got to see them really interact in the original series. So yeah, I agree. It's really fun just seeing them hang out. But then we get interrupted by the franchisee guy that was like, "Hey, you know what we should do? We should close down your store because your store sucks." Giving Norma the rundown of how hers is not performing as well as the others because it costs too much to maintain her pies.
Yep, that's 100% it. He's just like, hey, all these other places, they're doing great. 3 out of the 5 are great. The one that's actually lagging behind the most, guess what? It's yours. And you know why that is? It's 100%.
Guess what?
Because you're spending too much on your pies and not charging enough for them. And then she's like, but they say that my pies are better than their pies, which is crazy because I gave them the exact ingredients and everything, the recipe they should be following. He's like, they are following it, except, they have a little leeway on their ingredients. And she's like, no, you should be getting that good organic, fresh, local shit. And he's just like, nah, dude, we're corporatizing this. We're getting that fucking cheap ass shit from down the way. And she's not happy about that. Big Ed's sitting there all not happy because clearly there's something going on with Norma and this guy, and he's sad about it. And they're exchanging glances. You could see him expertly framed over in the corner up there, so you could see his reaction watching him the whole time.
He's being the little conscience. He's being the angel and the devil.
He's the angel and the devil, yep. I guarantee you Hat Man over the shoulder there to the left, I guarantee you he's just there to help frame Ed. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, let's put you there to make it help frame him up a little bit.
So you can tell there's still a flicker of like love between them a little bit. Like,
oh yeah, and I don't get how she likes this guy because that guy's a dick, dude.
That guy's dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get Nadine
Get back with Big Ed and his big head, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nadine's just chilling at her silent drapes. And then we
Yep.
get Jacoby.
Got a shit shovel.
We get Jacoby like
Jacobus. He's the shit shovel.
backing
Like,
up.
wait,
He's
man.
like, "What the fuck?"
This is the one person that bought my shovel. Yeah,
You bought my shovel? And so yeah,
he's like, I gotta see who this is. Nadine, is that you, Nadine? He's like, no, it's another redheaded lady with a fucking eye patch who's been living in this town forever.
we got some cool spectacles and eyewear going on in this scene.
A Jacoby special, dude. Over there. And then she calls him Dr. Amp because she's in like hero worship mode. I think he's sitting there concocting an idea of like, how do I get my dick wet? That's what it seems.
Pretty much. He was like, "Hey, I remember seeing you at the supermarket and you dropped a potato."
Yeah, you
and I
dropped a
was
fucking potato and there was a storm. And then she was like, oh, that's like where it ends.
Yeah, that was like, it's just hanging on that. And there was a storm and she's like, oh.
It's like she remembers that storm. And she's like, oh shit, that
shit.
storm.
That made me really wet.
Yeah. That's the key, dude.
That's
Right
the
there.
key. The key is the storm.
Storm, rain, water.
I was really trying to rack my brain during the scene of like, so let's try if we just like fucking dig deep here.
Yeah.
Metaphorically,
Good pun.
what is this storefront display representing? Where like the golden shovel is a tool or some kind of aspect of your life that
She's the shit, dude.
well, if it digs you, if it gets you out of the shit, is it something that reveals truth or helps clarify things or keeps bad things away from you? Like it's some kind of panacea,
I don't know.
or like whether that be social, economic, for your job. You know what I mean? Like
I think it's just some sort of like. I think it's just I don't know.
Metaphor?
To me, I just see it like the general snake oil shenanigans, or maybe it is really supposed to be a beacon of truth or something. But
if
at the
that's
same
what
time, it's like it is just some fucking bullshit.
sure, but whether it's bullshit,
And she's a follower,
or
yeah.
whether it's real or bullshit in the end, but what it represents is that, yeah, like symbol of hope. We'll just say,
Yeah, some sort of totem.
and then if the curtains obscure that, if they hide that symbol,
or they're pulling back the curtains silently.
well, and that's the thing is like, is are they hiding it, or are they like showing, and the motion of them, does that have anything to do with it? The fact that they're silent? I was really just trying to like, fucking
They're quietly
speed
pulling
racer
back
this.
No, yeah, I love when we dig deep on this stuff. 'cause
Quietly
I
try to
love
pull
the
back the
idea that
curtain.
the shovel is a metaphor for
Maybe
many
it's
things.
metaphor for like some sort of knowledge or forbidden knowledge that they don't want you to have, and they're pulling back the curtain on it. You know what I mean?
I think broad picture that it is that, where it's like supposed to symbolize like enlightenment
broad picture,
in like
yes.
a very general sense, and
Yep.
and she is pulling back the curtain, showing that the curtains can be pulled back on enlightenment, because shoveling yourself out of the shit.
It's
all
a
this
double metaphor wrapped in a display here.
So I was
Painted with
trying to
too
like
close shitty gold paint.
go down that rabbit hole during the scene, but it was kind of tough to like really explore a lot of those options while also listening to the dialogue and trying to just pay attention to the
Think
performance.
about Jacoby getting his dick wet.
You guys are the ones bringing that to this. I did not read that at
It's
all.
obvious. It's obvious.
He's got a fan, and Jacoby, he likes the lady.
If anybody puts him in a place of power, he gets that dick wet. Dude. Happened with happened with Laura. You
are not wrong, Eric. You're not wrong at all.
So that's his modus operandi. Dude.
Am I wrong?
Am I wrong, dude?
So
no, you're not wrong. You're just an asshole.
Broad show.
Yeah.
I don't. No, you're not. You're not an asshole.
I have one.
Hey, don't we all? Hopefully.
Hey, calmer than you are.
Calmer than you are.
Mark it 0. Mark your asshole 0. This scene is one.
You see what happens? You see what happens, Larry?
You see what happens when you mark your asshole 0, Larry?
Look at all this. Look at all the ashtrays. Dude.
So many ashtrays.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's one by pill bottle. There's 2 there.
Right there.
All filled up. Is that another pill bottle by the Kleenexes by the lamp over there?
Yeah, it looks like some
ibuprofen. Some Advil.
So this is one of a few scenes
that are essentially the same thing.
Yeah. This is one of a few scenes in this episode specifically that are like, why is this scene happening?
To let us know you should never waste mac and cheese.
Yeah,
there's this.
There's also like the classic like kind of it's almost a metaphor of like a depression or something that you're stuck in, and it's just you're going through the motions every day, same thing every day, and it's kind of like what's going on here, where she's just sitting there drinking her goddamn fucking Bloody Marys, and it's just replaying this section of old boxing match over and over.
And since we're like going through it frame by frame here, I'm noticing like a very like slow zoom or push, and so like
she's pleased.
Yeah, I think that there's that of like the repetition.
I'd love to see some hands coming from off camera and grabbing that macaroni and pulling it off camera.
Just a broad show grab. It, like
what happens with that kind of repetition and that kind of like rut compounded over 25 years is what it has been.
Yeah, think about that. She's just been doing this for 25 years.
Daily, like hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, over time, and I'm just gonna
those spooky ass bunny rabbits on the corner.
I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Like, if she's a fucking vessel for Judy, or
those are outside the window,
in some way contains a part of her aspect, or like is connected to her somehow, because all of these scenes with Sarah always feel like dark or foreboding in some major way, right?
Keeping her down,
takes her face off,
beating on her sorrow, dude.
Yeah, so is the presence of that otherworldly spirit in her, around her, in her life, is that the thing that's making the TV like keep on this is she so overloaded at this point in her life with Garmonbozia, with sorrow, with the Judy energy that like,
Dude, is that what that is? Is this not macaroni and it's carbonara, dude? That'd be good.
No, that's
hey,
mac and cheese. That's a mac
if
and
it
cheese.
if it actually was creamed corn, I'd be like, fucking
Yep.
ding ding ding.
But look,
This is not a
look behind
supposition.
it.
It is a fucking.
Look behind her. It looks like that makes a little face on the wall there. You got two little eyes and a nose there.
She's got
Mhm.
3 mirrors.
See that? Two eyes, little nose sitting on
This is
the
not,
cushions make a little mouth there. You know what I'm saying?
and this is not the first time that we've seen her in her living room like this, right?
Right. She was watching wild animals eat each other or something like that.
Like
The bushes are outside,
lions
so you can't
feasting
beat
on
around them.
their prey or something
that?
like that. And she,
See, the bushes are outside.
yes,
Yes.
You can't beat around them. They're outside.
You got to go step outside for that, Wilson.
Yeah.
okay, yes,
Yep.
I'm outside. So the one before, she like there was like a
Mhm.
picture of Laura that broke and started bleeding or something.
Mm.
I'd have to go back and watch that, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. We've only seen
Yeah,
her
like-
in this kind of space, like a little bit.
Twice.
Yeah,
And when
I think twice,
if
or maybe
Once,
3
twice,
times.
3 times a
From-
lady.
from here, we can see the front door. And when Hawk was talking to her at the front door, she looked back behind her, like to her right. So she would have been looking back into this room.
Yep.
So this seems like if she's been sitting here fucking drinking, smoking, doing whatever she's been doing for 25 years, this is like a hot spot that she's created of this negative
Negative energy,
energy
Like
and
pain and sorrow.
Just think how many farts have happened there, dude.
Just a
Yes.
bunch of Garmonbozia farts. Those are
nicotine
nasty.
Yep.
fueled fucking
Martman
vodka
Bozia,
sports.
dude. Go with that tomato juice, too. Ugh. Bloody Mary farts, dude. Ugh.
And then we get back to
And we got this
Charlie
bullshit.
and Audrey. Charlie's laying the smackdown on Audrey.
He's laying down a thick beat.
Very proper. Talking about the roadhouse and going to.
So fine, I'll take you go to the roadhouse. She's like, I don't know where's that. He's
I
like,
don't
you
know
know where's that? She's like, I do, but I don't. And I don't know.
Is
Oh,
there-
Is any of this
yeah.
real? He's like, bitch, I don't know. Is it?
Let me throw another vibe check at you guys.
Yeah.
Am I
Did you know?
off in any way by feeling like Charlie gives off some sort of vibes of like maybe not husband, but like a doctor or caregiver or therapist or somebody who's like
Yeah.
like
He
a,
gives
like a
off-
Shutter
he gives off-
Island.
Yeah, he gives off Wrangler vibes. Like he's wrangling her in some way, shape. Like he's a doctor, Shutter Island style. He's keeping him wrangled in his delusion or yeah. He gives off big Wrangler vibes,
Yeah.
not Dungaree vibes, Wrangler vibes.
Yeah, I just had felt that previously, so I was curious if either of
Yeah.
you had ever noticed that.
So yeah, again, the scene went
Don't pick it up
nowhere.
what you put down.
Really. We didn't really glean anything new about this relationship. Just that Charlie's very withholding, and
Yeah, all those lamps should be gas lights, if you know what I'm saying.
And then we get the best
And then we get
song
this
of the
nightmare.
night.
My God.
Serious scene.
James singing the "Just
Who
You."
is this person that's crying?
The Chixel cream? I don't know, dude.
I don't know, but she like
She's really feeling it.
feels it.
Really feeling it. She's got numbers on her arm.
She does.
she's
7,
realizing
6,
how cool
8?
James always was.
Yeah.
or 3, 7663.
7663 is what it is.
What does it mean? That's June 6th, or that's July 6th, 1963.
Who knows? Maybe it's another serial number for a light pole. Who knows? James singing "Just You and I Together Forever in Love."
Well,
Great song, and the girl drinks wine and cries.
there was. Well, no,
Creepy girls.
that's not this fucking date.
And yeah,
One thing I got that happened historically is South African Workers Union leader Billy Nair arrested and charged with sabotage and attempting to overthrow the government. His name's
Eric-
Billy.
But
There
Eric,
is.
did you
Seems
know
good.
that on the musical charts, #1 in America was "Easier Said Than Done" by the Essex?
Yeah,
Well, there you go. That has to be it, guys. There's no other way.
but hey, we're talking about a Billy, right? At the fucking old what's your shits here,
Roadhouse,
Roadhouse.
the Bang Bang Club.
Eventually, as South Africa
That's what
workers
Audrey was
usually
talking about.
Billy
Yeah,
inherited it.
yeah.
Billy inherited it. It's Billy. No, it's probably nothing, but still.
And
Who
that
knows?
was-
Maybe it's that actress's like parents' birthday or something.
Well, yeah. Who the fuck knows?
and we go to Big Ed's gas farm, and that was how we capped off this episode. Was where Ed just is eating some hearty soup.
I like to imagine that he's eating Nefla. That the Double R makes a version of, their Nefla soup that he's eating and enjoying.
Maybe he's having some chubby soup.
Some chubby soup.
Oh, no.
Our boy.
July 6th, 1963, the movie Blood Feast first premiered at the Bellevue Drive-In in Bellevue, Illinois. Composed, shot, and directed by Herschel Gordon Lewis, the film is considered to be the first splatter film. There you go.
There it
Well, thank you very much, Eric.
is. That fits.
Nothing to do with it. The Roman Catholic Church also relaxed the ban on cremation as a funeral practice. So,
the
there you go.
RCC.
Got it.
Hell yeah,
Any
man.
more Bracho that you want to throw out there before we end?
No,
this
that's it.
one? Okay.
Those are the most pertinent, I think.
Well, let's
He's got
talk
coffee
about.
brewing in the back, it looks like, because the light's on.
Which point?
I mean,
That's
the,
true.
the point is,
Yeah.
clearly it's nighttime. He's got a cup of coffee right there in front of him. He's
Yep,
eating
from the
soup.
double R. Double
He's
R to
already
go.
got more coffee brewing. This man is going to be awake for quite a long time after we're seeing him now.
Got the spooky radio behind him.
Yeah, he'll probably. That's why he's got the
What's he got
coffee,
that for?
so he can stay awake and listen to the spooky radio, and he won't be hungry while he's doing that because he's eating his soup right now.
Some sort of yellow soup. So
Yep.
looked kind of creamy-ish. So I don't know.
Look at the orange dot on the
There's a
inner
speck
rim.
of carrot there. There's a speck of carrot.
The carrot makes me think that it is a chicken noodle that he is eating. Chicken
Could be.
noodle.
But you look at it, it looked pretty creamy. That's
Yes,
why
I
went
don't
like
disagree,
that.
but
That's why I
chicken
went
noodle,
like
chicken
that.
noodle,
Yeah,
chicken noodle,
just-
chicken noodle,
you could have
chicken
three.
noodle,
You could have three. You could have
Reading that to R, warm yourself up with some really stick to the ribs.
cold, yeah.
Chicken noodle.
You're right.
But then chicken noodle.
You know what
Some
I'm
Right.
gonna do for this part of
some
the
grits,
the
some-
recording? I'm gonna put in the echo reverb thing where it's just like constant back and forth of like explaining chicken noodle soup.
That's what I was trying to do is just
That's what it is.
constantly fill with noise so that you.
Yeah.
And I was hoping Bradshaw would pick up and join in so that you could add. Yeah, like we did that in Odada. We can do that here.
Obama.
So
Odada.
the next episode is part 14. Oh my gosh, guys!
You just staring
Wow.
outside.
Wow.
Part 14. We are like the
That
dreamer.
means we got 4 episodes left. Right?
And yeah, after
like
that
the
one,
dream.
18?
it's 18. Yeah, we are like the dreamer.
We live
Um,
inside of a dream. No, we live inside a dream.
We're like the memer.
Don't let your dreams be memes.
Exactly.
So yeah, join us then when we talk about We Are Like the Dreamer. We have gone ahead and watched that one already, so we know what's going to happen. But yeah, stay tuned for that episode because it was a banger. A great little lore dump. Great stuff with Andy being, who knows, maybe Andy's the dreamer of this episode. We'll talk about it. And let us know,
Could be.
if you got theories on who the dreamer is in this world. We talk about it in the next episode, so maybe throw down some speculative comments down below. And yeah, stay tuned for that one, and see you later. Goodbye.
Let us know.